Because at that point in time, Singapore was actually at the turbulent period.
70年代讲一句不好听的，就是开枪、打抢、勒索的这个案件非常多啊。
The police report of gun offences was almost every fortnight.
Wahab Brothers 的这个事件啊，我记得是一间金店发生的劫案的时候啊，Wahab Brothers 的新闻就开始引人注意了。
I rushed forward, I grabbed both of them and plunged my gun into the target behind and I opened fire.
After the shooting, both of them went on a run and they were seeking refuge in a home of a distant relative.
A lot of rumors saying that the brother is coming to rescue the injured brother.
Two men visited Mustapha. These were the boyfriends of Mustapha's sisters who had been sent by Wahab.
Come to around early morning, slightly tired, slightly dozing off, still sitting now but dozing. Actually, the day is not my turn to do the guarding. It's another one. I think this was the third time I take over the duty. When I got the assignment, I don't feel quite easy because a lot of rumors saying that the brother is coming to rescue the injured brother. No choice but to go because we are new. So they just go into the gate and come in straight and gun pointing at me. So they get the key from the warden, release the brother, and then they start running off.
It started off like a normal day. I was doing the usual, checking on the patients when I saw Mustapha with another man. It was Wahab, his brother. They both had guns and they warned me and my other staff nurse to keep quiet.
我觉得说这个在医院那个是最轰动的，那么最少是在新加坡的这种所谓罪案史里面啊，独立以来，据我知道是没有发生过有强盗公然闯进去医院，去驾持人质，去把这个同党救出来。
I remember when traveling in the taxi for quite a number of hours, round and round the island. Our uniform one always got one lanyard on. So he took out the lanyard, tied my hand. The rest all never tied out, only myself. Did ask us to hide ourselves, go down when they see police car, when they see petrol car.
You bagi uncle tu jalan dulu lah.
No, I ever tell Mustapha, I say, you take me alone, you release them, can or not? He said, no, everyone must go. 1972 in Malaysia. With a O-level cert, you can't find a job easily. So my intention to come out to Singapore to start my career here. I joined the force in the year 1972, training in Police Academy, Thompson Road. Beginning of the year, I started my training. So after that, I passed out from PA and attached to Queenstown Police Station. Probably because of the injury, Mustapha is very rash and very temperamental in the action. Wahab is very quiet, never do any shouting, never score anything.
Did you see them get scared during that drive?
I doubt they are afraid of all these things because all these gunmen, once they possess a gun, they are prepared to die. They don't prepare to get caught and all those things. Before they are caught, they just leave one bullet for himself, the last bullet for himself. A lot of gunmen have this notion. They don't want to be caught on. Actually, in their mind, they got no plan at all. They just go anyhow, go. Almost daybreak already, we landed at Tampines, the rubber plantation. So we disembarked, and then all of us walk up to the hill near to a dry pond.
Jalan, jalan. Hey! Jalan.
So we are asked to sit down. Probably their intention to finish her off down there.
What was going through your head at that moment?
Something like just accept the fate, accept this is my fate, what to do. This is the end of my life. Think of my family, my brother, my sibling, my father. My mother already passed away, but sure keep thinking about them. Using my gun, using my service revolver, and pull on trigger. Using my service revolver and pull on trigger. I heard the sound but no explosion. So the bullet never fired off. And then I don't feel any pain, I just, I think that So before they can do anything, the platoon of army down the hill, they start their training or what, they open a blank fire. So they thought, all this army must be coming after me. So they're frightened off. They just run off towards their side. And we were safe because of this. I just don't want to relive the scene, don't want to remember. I mean, when everybody want to ask me about that question, I say you go and read first, or you go to the library or archive, go and look up the thing. I just don't want to have that mentioned.
After Wahab broke his brother Mustapha out of the hospital, they went on the run, but not before they had kidnapped police constable Chow. And Mustapha actually had the audacity to shoot him. But thank goodness for the police constable, the weapon misfired. And then they went on the run again, and that triggered one of the most massive manhunts in Singapore's history. My father was a senior police officer in the 1960s. One of the most infamous cases he ever worked on was the Wahab-Hassan Brothers case. Every available officer, including my father, was mobilized to look for the brothers. And the search took place at many areas in Singapore, cemeteries, shop houses, and even bumboats, where unsavory characters were known to be at. So it was a massive manhunt. In that era, information was scarce and scattered. Not only the reporters, but also the various law enforcement agencies were seeking information from informers, ground intelligence, and even from various rumors that were circulating at that time.
Whenever there is a high-profile incident, for example, armed robbery, escaping from legal custody, the first thing the police would do is to activate the immediate temporary alarm, or in short, they call ITA. That is to alert all the patrol forces to look out for the fugitive. And internally, within the police force, all of us who are on 24-hour duty will be activated.
那过后，报馆就叫我负责，叫我和几个同事大概有4个同事负责这个案件。那我负责的就是跟警方联络。不过还好，就是说我那个时候有跟西报的几个记者有非常好的这个联系。他们这个西报记者，非华人他们跟非华人的警官关系是很密切的，所以那我们有交换一些情报啦。这个警方的记者会那么我们通常拿到的都是每一家报馆都有的啦，有时就是会给一些警方记者会以外的新闻。 就是他们从那个的逃走以后啊，听说警方就有线人啊开始收集资料，就是一步一步的跟踪。我从警方一个好朋友，所谓我们的线人的这个口中，我知道说，他们警方好像有跟踪瓦哈兄弟，已经有20-30个小时了。
This type of incident, the whole police force was mobilized to look out for the fugitive, and we were determined to arrest him at all costs, risking our life and limb in pursuing such an objective.
I came back home at about 1 a.m. and I found Mustapha and Wahab. They were my distant cousins. Mustapha pointed a gun at me and he asked whether I recognize him and Wahab. Kau buat apa dekat sini, Mus?
Ya, Mesah. Aku perlukan duit, Mesah.
Bukan kau dekat hospital ke?
Aku perlukan duit, kau faham tak?
Okey. Kau turunkan pistol kau dulu. Kita bincang.
Aku nak duit, cepat. Kau rasa aku duit sekarang.
Turunkan pistol kau dulu. Kita bincang ni elok-elok, Mus.
Aku dah tak ada masa nak bincang, Mesah.
Tolong, Mus. Kita bincang ni. Cakap aku tak ada banyak duit, Mus. Tolong. Kita boleh bincang ni elok-elok, Mus. Tolong turunkan pistol kau, Mus.
Aku tak ada masa nak bincang dengan kau, Mesah.
Kau jangan buang masa aku, Esa.
Apa kau mahu?
Wahab made Isa pawn a watch and took whatever else they could get their hands on. By the time Isa made it to the police station, the brothers had already fled the scene.
因为这个哥哥啊，他跑去附近的药店去买一些这个创伤药，那么就是来医治他的弟弟的伤口的。所以有人好像有看到他走进这个坟场。
I'm Kewal Singh and I've been in the police force for 34 years. I had to join the Singapore Police. I joined at the age of 19, went for training to the police academy. I was in the reserve unit, PRU 2. Life in the PRU was wonderful. We enjoyed and we work hard. We are although called the police reserve unit, but we are the regulars. That meant we do more standby duties, where at any moment we can be called up. Exactly talking on that day, we were on emergency duty. Emergency duty means 24-hour standby. And on that day, we were patrolling in the evening towards nightfall and received a message that to proceed to the PA, Police Academy, for a briefing. On arrival at the police training school in Thompson Road, we were called to the classroom. Troop by troop, there were 3 troops. So my troop was the first one to go in, and we were told that there are gunmen at certain place. They told us very fast that they need 4 volunteers. So we volunteered, and from there we were told to go to a certain location and follow what my OC unit, Mr. Sharma, where he brought us there by Land Rover.
那么我们一直到傍晚，大概傍晚的时候啊，我们就跟警方求证，警方说是他们还在包围，不过是不敢，就是不敢轻举妄动啊，因为怕说打草惊蛇，那么也怕说万一引起枪战，会伤到这个无辜的市民啊。不过我们当然是接到消息就要赶去现场哦。那么主要啊，警方的突击队啊都集中在那边，我们不能够进。那我还记得我是站在那个我们的意外采访专车的车顶上看过去。
On arriving at the cemetery at the 5-foot way, we were dropped off and we quickly moved towards the gate entrance of the cemetery. There is nothing in my mind to think about, no fear and whatever. Going for the brothers, that is our target.
.所以看过去，那天好像是天很暗啊，那么而且要下雨的样子，所以也看不清楚里面是什么东西，只看到很多人影在晃动这样，就跑来跑去。过后就听到那个第二个案子，警方人员发射催泪弹的声音，还有几声枪声啊。
At the gate entrance, there is a hut, an attempt hut for the caretaker. As we were moving towards the caretaker's hut, we saw 2 figures running into the cemetery, and we moved into the cemetery. So we went to the first hut and we found the cotton wool, the items belonging to the suspects, and that was empty, nobody there. And we moved forward to the next hut.
Jalan mus, jalan. Terus. Kau gila ke bang kau ni? Jalanlah.
As we are moving, crouching very slowly and very carefully.
Aku tak nak pergi jalan. Bangun, bangun.
heard a gunshot. And followed by another shot, so we dived to the ground and to cover.
Well, opening fire is not normal. While you're in the police force, you have been trained, and when you hear the gunshot, it's a bit frightening, but also good experience. If you don't experience it, you never learn, and it may also cost you your life. I don't blame the rookies not knowing, because to open fire, you got to think 3-4 times. But once you have done it, the second and third is normal. But the first time will always teach you.
我们采访这种意外新闻比较习惯了，所以这种场面虽然是说知道会有枪战发生，当然枪战对一般人来说是很刺激的。那么对于我们来说那么就是好像处理一宗这个枪战跟处理2宗是没有什么分别的啦。那么当然是说当时紧张会有啦。那么尤其是听到枪声响起来的时候你多少那个神经会被牵动一下啦。
So we happened to see a figure sitting far away behind a tree, and I told my friend on the left side of me to cover me. I'm going to crawl to check on it. And then I moved forward. I came behind a guy. This person, he was sitting on the floor and was leaning against the tree. The revolver was in his hand, and I took mine and just touched his hand, and it fell down. And then I moved forward to a figure about 50 feet away, lying on his back. He was also holding a gun in his hand, and he is dead.
Clear!
过后大概是10分钟，那后来警方就跟我们讲说，Wahab Brother 已经死在里面了，而且警方很严，他不准我们进现场，只准每一家报馆派一个摄影记者进去拍照，记者不能够进去。不过那个时候我记得我一个摄影记者。 他灵机一动，他就是那个时候的摄影记者都有 spare 多一个备用的相机那么他就拿给我，叫我记者冒充摄影记者进去也拍照片。那个时候我就是拿了相机进去，我记得已经开始下雨了，相当蒙镜头相当蒙，警方也只准我们。 拍1、2张，当然看到一些2兄弟躺在地上， 躺在那个坟场附近，坟场里面各开不远啊。
Oh dear. Emotional. I'm getting emotional, you know, looking at Mustapha there. He almost I haven't seen his brother before, but looking at this one, he almost look like his brother. It's a sad thing to see this, lah. You know, losing a life is not a happy thing, you know. It's not a happy occasion. But unfortunately, he committed a crime. And a police officer almost lost his life, you know, David Chan. He happened to be my good friend too. Left and right were my friends. The shooter was my classmate. The victim is also my good friend, David Chan.
The Wahab brothers were found dead at a Muslim cemetery in Jalan Kubor. There were some reports that actually that Wahab, who vowed never to surrender to the police, had shot his younger brother, Mustapha.
Well, I gathered the stories from other sources. You know, when he was surrounded, the police with a loud hailer asked them to surrender. But in fact, instead of surrendering, Wahab opened fire and shot Mustapha at the temple, and then turned the gun on his own temple and opened fire.
However, the coroner's inquiry stated that it was a double suicide.
那么他的就是两个人的太阳穴都穿洞了，有个血洞，然后他不大可能是这么准啊，开枪这么准，会打中他弟弟的太阳穴，而且你以他过去的行动来看啊，你看他弟弟受伤在医院，他都宁可冒险去把他弟弟救出来，所以他不大可能说会去杀他的弟弟再自杀了，可想而知他们是开枪自杀的。原来他这个坟场是分为两部分，一个是给贵族的，一个是给普通平民的。穆斯塔法兄弟为什么要跑去这个贵族的坟场？一个说法是说他们打抢就是为了要发财嘛，那么就是想做一个富贵梦啊，没有想到说这个富贵梦啊进了坟场。所以啊，那么他们呢，最后美梦也做不成，还断送了性命。
Everybody was trying to survive, man. Those days, gangsters too, they were trying to survive, man. It's all about money, you know. People became good because of they have good head. People became bad because they need the money to survive, you know. It's as simple as that, you know. We are creatures of environment. The environment shape our behavior, you know. That's human behavior, shaped by the environment.
我觉得 不管他们是做了什么坏的事情，你可以看得出他哥哥冒险好几次要去想方设法救他的弟弟，到最后走投无路，还怕这个弟弟死在乱枪之下。你可以看得出他们是手足情深。
Baru September hari itu, Makcik nampak Wahab. Makcik tegur dia. Makcik suruh dia pergi serah diri ke balai polis untuk sambung tahanan dia. Dia cakap nak sambut Hari Raya Haji nanti. Lepas tu, baru dia pergi serah diri. Mustapha ada melawat makcik masa Hari Raya Haji. Dia bagi duit sikit kat makcik, katanya untuk sambut tahun baru nanti. Mustapha tu anak bongsu makcik. Dia sayang sangat ke abang dia, Wahab. Mereka tu pergi sekolah sama-sama, ponteng sekolah sama-sama, bergaduh dengan anak jiran ni. Diorang tu memang terpengaruh dengan semua perkara-perkara jahat dan buat perkara-perkara yang tak elok. Tak ada apa yang makcik boleh lakukan untuk hentikan diorang. Makcik baru dapat berita tentang kematian dia di surat khabar.
So, these two brothers who plotted many armed robberies, they robbed people of thousands and thousands of dollars, and when they were found, they only had $10 between them. So it leads one to ponder. They left families behind. They left their mother behind. They had relatives that they left behind. Wahab was only 24 years old. Mustapha was only 21 years old. Was it all worth it? What was it all for? It's actually quite sad. And for my dad, it was just another day on the job. Yes, it was a tragedy, but there were many more cases that had the same notes. To my dad, it was the same story played over and over again, just with different characters. That was the nature of the job for law enforcement officers back then. The tale of the Wahab-Hassan Brothers became the talk of the town in the weeks after their death. The police believed that this incident would serve as a deterrent to would-be criminals. Unfortunately, that did not happen. More reports of robberies, kidnappings, and murders involving firearms took place.
Mr. Speaker, fellow parliamentarians, over the last decade, there has been a steady increase of crimes in Singapore. What is even more alarming is the number of robberies in which firearms have been used has increased sharply. It has therefore become vital that something drastic be done to curb this widespread use of firearms if peace and good order in our republic is to be maintained. It is well known that those who use firearms in the commission of criminal offences do not hesitate to shoot or to maim or to even kill their victims. They have even less hesitation at opening fire at the police when confronted.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to support the bill. I personally believe that gangsters, hooligans, and thugs who resort to violence and extreme methods in their criminal activities must be tried and punished by sentences no less than what with which they inflict their victims. To them, I think the extreme punishment is something which they will probably understand.
The main purpose of the 1973 Arms Offences Act is for deterrence, which is retribution then. If they use a gun and cause harm to others, grievous hurt, and in some cases death, they will have got to expect themselves to be punished commensurately then. And at the same time, deter others who might have got the same inclination then. Each and every one of the possible offences were catered for then. Of course, possession would be number one. Then you have got two, carrying of arms to commit crimes, and it also provided punishment for accomplices at the scene of crime. Death penalty also provided for the accomplice, even though he might not have carried any arm or in such instance unable to use the arm. This was in fact the main thrust of the 1973 amendment then. Singapore is a small place. We must have tough laws, because if we do not have tough laws, the moment we realize it, the situation can be entirely out of hand.
In my opinion, it is clear that the Arms Offences Act has worked. In my 24-year career as a defense attorney, I've only worked on 2 cases involving firearms. What causes laws to be evolved? It's based on policy and it's based on safety. So if that act didn't come into play, without these harsher penalties that are in place right now, we may have the same social upheaval that we had in the 70s and the 80s, even now. Because then there will be no control, there will be no laws. It's in our nature. No matter what the laws are, as long as there are people, there will always be crimes. We are all potential criminals. All of us. Push comes to shove, you never know. You never know what will push us across that line. Like I said, it all depends on how it is out there on the street. And that is how all law is based.